Aloha Manga Club. This week, you and I are going to be talking about my biggest problem as a creator. Budgeting.
Budgeting.
That is right. The biggest thing that I struggle with is creating and maintaining a budget for my hobbies and collection. So in this video, I kind of want to go over some tips and tricks that I have found online and that I really would like to try to stick to over the next few months. Number one is a budget creation. For myself, I think that a budget of 5% or less of your annual income is a great way to get started on really any hobby. In fact, I do it after taxes. You could do it before. As an example of this, if you were to spend $20 every single week on manga, that is a little over $1,000 every single year. If you're buying brand new, that's over 90 volumes. If you're buying used, that's maybe even double that amount. That's an insane increase into the volume of your volumes. But it's really important to stick with this budget because you need to plan out your life events. So when creating this, you also need to take in your socioeconomic status, how much debt you have, and honestly, any big life events that you have coming up. For myself, that would be my wedding. If you don't start budgeting, Sydney may end up killing you. He's right though. If I don't start budgeting for my wedding, Sydney may end up utilizing the knowledge that she has gained in her volumes on me. So now that you have your budget in mind, let's go over ways that you can really adhere to it. And that is by utilizing a budget buddy. I know I say you need a buddy for a lot of things, but for when it comes to budget, especially if you have poor impulse control, you need to hand the reins over to somebody that you know will help maintain this, or you just need to have a strong limit of saying no. So a budget buddy is somebody that you can call and say, hey, I'm looking at getting X, Y, and Z for this amount of money. And they can tell you whether or not that is a good idea. And you can even utilize some principles of, does this bring me happiness? If it brings you happiness, go ahead, spend your budget on it, take it home. If it does not bring you any bit of happiness, you know it's going to be a better idea to leave it there. Another thing to consider when you have this budget buddy is make sure that they understand what your budget actually is and the reason that you are collecting manga. Because with these two general understandings of you as a person, they're going to be able to give you a more honest and really direct answer as to what you need to do. So how can you, now that you have your budget, you kind of know how to stick with it with the budget buddy, how can you stretch it out and utilize it to the best of your ability? Well, first things first, if you're gonna buy new, get yourself Amazon Prime because that eliminates all shipping headaches in the future. While they may not be the absolute best when it comes to packaging, check out my video right up there. They do, if I was gonna say it, they do get it to you quickly and cheaply, aka free, if you have Amazon Prime. Now this saves you a little bit on the front end. However, if you're buying new through them, a volume is gonna end up costing you $10 to $11 before taxes if you are in the United States. So what are some other options? Well, you can take a look at Right Stuff, but they are again going to charge you shipping almost every single time. Or you can take a look at buying used on either eBay or going into a local bookstore and seeing what they have on their shelves. When you buy it used, you're going to be able to stretch your budget even more because a lot of the times you can get a volume for either $3.99 or $4.99 or even less if you kind of get lucky and buy a group deal. Now this really does help you stretch your budget. But another great thing is if you have gotten to the point where you're at the end of the month, your budget buddy has basically said, you don't need that and you have a little bit of extra money left over, you can carry that on to your next month, meaning that instead of having only $80 to spend, let's say that you only spent, $50 the previous month, you now have $110 to spend on your next purchase. And let's say that Right Stuff is having a phenomenal sale, you'll be able to blow your budget all on that. So this is really how I intend to stick to my budget, by creating it at 5% or less, utilizing a budget buddy, somebody who really understands why you're collecting, and learning how to stretch your budget. I think these are all really important things for any starter collector to have. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and for everyone new and old, welcome and welcome back. It's your boy Lohali. and I'll see you next video.